doing? Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. I'm Dr. Adebusola Adefeso. I'm a medical doctor and a certified personal nutritionist. In this channel, I talk about health, weight loss, nutrition, natural air, and whatever pops into my head, really. So today we are talking about emotional eating. Emotional eating is finding comfort in food. Now, when you reach out to food, when you're bored, you're tired, you're angry, you're sad, you're happy, whatever it is that is going on with you, if the first thing you reach out for is food, you probably suffer from emotional eating. And the truth is that emotional eating is commoner than we think. A lot of people suffer from emotional eating. Even me, that I'm talking to you right now, I struggle with emotional eating. I struggle. If I'm sad, I reach for food. If I'm happy, I reach for food. If I'm lonely, I reach for food. If I'm bored, I reach for food. If I'm angry, I reach for food. That's just the way food just makes you feel. It replaces your emotion for a little while. Just for a little while. Just for a little period. But at that period of time, you're feeling the high. It's like you're on drugs. You know, there's release of neurotransmitters in your brain, the dopamine, the epinephrine, and everything, and you feel good at that point in time. Remember that I'm saying at that point in time. So I struggle with emotional eating too, and a lot of people struggle with emotional eating. It's not something they're doing intentionally. It's not something they can just stop doing, because it takes a whole lot of process to actually get over emotional eating. People who eat emotionally, they reach for food several times a week, depending on their mood, depending on what's going on with them. And, you know, sometimes it's even just to reward themselves. And they're like, after good work, I'm making my money, I need to reward myself. You understand? But the thing with emotional eating is that after eating, because sometimes when you eat emotionally, you also tend to overeat. Now, emotional eating is totally different from binge eating, anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and other eating disorders. I'll talk about those eating disorders in a separate video. So let's be clear that emotional eating is totally different from those kind of eating disorders. But in emotional eating, people can also overeat. And after overeating, there's this feeling of guilt and shame that we experience after overeating, after the high is over. Once you're done with the high and everything, you have some feeling of guilt and shame over what you have eaten. So if you're on a weight loss journey and you struggle with emotional eating, you'll probably be struggling with, you know, eating healthy for like 3 days, and then you're back eating unhealthy for another 4 days, and at the end of the week, you're not seeing result on your weight loss journey. It's because you eat emotionally. What are the causes of emotional eating? Anything from work-related stress to financial stress to health challenges to physical stress or relationship struggles, whether friendship or sexual relationship, can be a root cause of emotional eating. And we all know that eating is not the solution to this problem, but these problems are the things that, you know, they precipitate, they aggravate these emotional changes and our response. Sometimes these situations lead to negative feeling and emotional void. So we use food to fill this void, and we have, you know, a temporary feeling. Emotional eating affects both gender. It affects both males and females, but it is commoner in females. How can you differentiate between emotional eating and hunger? I have a video on how to suppress hunger, suppress appetite. A full video, I will link it in the description box below. But let's talk about how you can differentiate between physical hunger and emotional hunger. Physical hunger develops over time. And then you can eat anything to fulfill that hunger, to have satiety from that hunger. You can eat a variety of foods. And then when eating, when you feel full, you stop because you are full. And the most important part, you do not feel any sense of guilt or shame for eating, because you're hungry, you need to eat, you need food for survival. So you do not feel you do not have any feeling of shame or guilt for giving it to that hunger. Whereas in emotional hunger, it comes suddenly or abruptly. Then you are craving for a particular type of food. you're craving for a specific food. Then when you eat the food, you tend to overeat. And finally, you have some feelings of guilt or shame after eating that particular food. So that's how you differentiate between physical hunger and emotional hunger. So how can we stop emotional eating? Honestly, emotional eating is not something that you can just stop just like that. You need to have some systems and processes in place. So how can you stop emotional eating? The first thing to remember is that whatever it is that you're going through, eating is not going to solve that problem. If you have financial struggle, eating is not going to solve it. If you have an health issue, eating is not going to solve it. If you have issues in your relationship or in your marriage, eating is not going to solve that problem. So every time you have it in the back of your mind that food is not a solution to this problem, it helps you cope emotional eating. Trust me. You need to find other ways to cope with stressful events that will happen in your life. And this is easier said than done. I'm telling you, because I also struggle with emotional eating. It's easier said than done. But there are ways by which you can go about it. What are the things you can try? The things that has been helpful when it comes to emotional eating. The first thing is meditation. Meditation has been proven to be very helpful. If you take your time to, even if it is 5 minutes meditation, and there are so many meditation apps that can help you if you are new to meditation. Meditation is amazing and it can help you deal with emotional eating. The second thing that you can try is exercise. Exercise is the most underutilized antidepressant on the planet. Exercise, you see those highs that you experience with emotional eating, you tend to experience those things with exercises too. Exercises also boost your hormone level, it boosts your energy level, it helps with the release of dopamine, epinephrine, those neurotransmitters in your brain. So exercise is very, very good in curbing emotional eating. And another easy way to go about it is that, and this is very good because when we talk about exercise, people think that you have to go to the gym and all of that. It doesn't have to be that difficult or stressful. Walking, and that brings me to the third point, which is shopping. Shopping is very, very good for emotional eating, especially if you are somebody who is a fan of shopping. Trust me, I've been trying that lately. Sometimes I'll even just go and win the shop. I'll just be walking up and down the store. Sometimes I'll just buy a pair of underwear because I really do not need anything. I just needed to leave home, leave my environment, forget about my worries, look at the beautiful things, walk around and all of that. So shopping is also very good if you struggle with emotional eating. Another important thing that is very helpful is starting a food diary. When you journal your food regularly, you'll be able to see that you're overeating, and then you know the days where you eat emotionally and you are able to identify the triggers. So you can just log in, get an exercise book and write it manually in the exercise book, or you can use apps. You can use apps like MyFitnessPal, Lose Weight and all that. Apps like MyFitnessPal, you'll also be able to know the amount of calories you're consuming. So when you log in your food into MyFitnessPal and then you see the amount of calories, that will also be an eye-opener, and it can help you check yourself the next time you want to do so. I have a video on how to use MyFitnessPal. I'll link it in the description box below. Another thing that is very, very helpful is eat a healthy diet. Trust me, there's this saying that says, if you keep good food at home, you will eat good food. If you have emotional distress at an odd time, you only eat what you have in your house. So if you have junks in your house, you eat junks. But if you don't have junks in your house, you eat the healthy food that is readily available in your apartment. So if you have healthy foods in your house, you eat healthy foods. Get rid of junks. Don't keep them for a later day. That's just, invitation for temptation. So just get rid of them and make sure that you have healthy foods in your house. Another very good thing that you can do is to work on positive self-talk and affirmations. Affirmations are very good, and if you can affirm yourself regularly, you will find yourself, having less struggle with emotional eating. And finally, last but not the least, seek support. There's support available. Seek support. Talk to somebody. If you have relationship problem, talk to the appropriate person. If you have financial problem, talk to the appropriate person. If you have work-related stress, talk to the appropriate person. So seek support for whatever it is that you're currently going through. There's so many people around you, so many people in your corner who want to help you. You only need to reach out. I hope you learned one or two things from this video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay fit and healthy. Bye for now.